they have in the UK, covering the rest, covering Europe.
So that would be something like, I think they've got, what, in the UK they have how many stores? They probably have 400, well, they have
Well, it's whether you
400
take,
stores.
there are lots of stores in the chain, but I think that you could easily get to 400 or 500 European stores. I'm saying easily. I think, you can do that in the dozen or so Western Europe countries through Portugal, Spain, France, Holland.
And you think there's no reason why they can't earn as interesting economics as the UK stores?
No, I don't think there's any reason. I think that's, perfectly feasible for them to do that.
So, I mean, just playing with numbers, you could see that generating profit of, so what are they doing? Sort of, 100, they could, you could basically see them doing their UK profit. You could get your UK profits generated in Europe, essentially, from what they're earning today.
You could get the UK contribution, whether it would be the profit the same because of the distribution costs would be slightly more. So I think that you'd have to take that into account. The other thing that you have to take into account in Europe is some of the labour costs, and particularly, with welfare costs are higher. So I think you'd have to knock some points off the margin because of the cost of running the operation from distribution terms and from staffing costs.
And I mean, are there precedents of what a European sportswear retailer could earn, Decathlon or someone like that? What are their sort of margins?
Well, no, Decathlon's a completely different operation because Decathlon is virtually all own brand and is completely out of town. So I don't, you're not comparing eggs with eggs there.
Is there a precedent to look at? Pan-European sports retail, or
no, there isn't really. Well, Foot Locker have operated across Europe for some time with smaller footwear, so they tend to work off 1,500 square feet, 150 square meters max. There's certainly precedent from the point of view that have Foot Locker made Europe a profitable operation. The answer would be yes. Do we
know what margins they make? Is that disclosed?
Well, first of all, you have to remember that the range offering is different. That Foot Locker essentially are just footwear. Okay, there's bits and pieces of clothing equipment, so it'd be a different
and
range.
More basketball, right?
They did. Well, it's interesting. I was just saying in America, but the mistake they make in Europe is they think that what sells in America sells in Europe. Isn't always the case. So, I would have thought that the margin opportunity for JD would be greater than that for Foot Locker because of the clothing offer, the enhanced margin. Okay,
fine. So then moving to the US and your thoughts there, I guess, just want to better understand what. So I guess the first question I have is, to what extent was their move into the US sort of not encouraged, but sort of Nike and Adidas sort of
Nike and Adidas have been Nike.
Have they been vocal essentially and said, we would like you to be there?
Desperate for.
Do you think is this a sort of cost? Or one way of thinking about it is it's a bigger opportunity to take place in a bigger market. But do you think there's any truth to sort of for JD to keep their good relationships with Nike, keep in Adidas in this changing world, they had to go and do this deal, and this is a sort of cost of doing business, if you like?
You're putting a negative slant on it. I think it's, that JD have, remember, before they did America, they did something in Australia, they did something in Asia. So,
I guess the reason I'm asking that is because UK retailers going to the US is typically destroyed, not created value, and typically moving so far offshore, is a lead indicator to suggest maturing in your home markets. So I guess just quite you challenge why now, and what does it say? What does it tell you?
Well, I don't know the fine detail of the deal, and indeed I have heard that their shareholders aren't exactly enamoured, or at least some of the institutional shareholders perhaps ain't particularly enamoured on this deal going through. So, which is a good sign in a way because they obviously think it's been sold too cheap. I think that first of all,
who Finish Line shareholders or JD shareholders?
No, Finish Line shareholders. Yeah,
right.
I hear anecdotally.
But it doesn't seem JD shareholders are that enamoured either.
Well, maybe they're not, but maybe they don't know enough about the market. From my point of view, I believe that I know that brands have encouraged